Hey, Stinger here. Recently, a couple months ago, I picked these things up from the dollar store. As soon as I saw them, I knew I was going to be able to incorporate them into some of my Transformers figures. Now what you have here, just little toy lasers. You got red and you got blue. Basically what they're for kids, they put them on their little finger here and they turn them on and they shoot a laser. So naturally I'm thinking, with all the piping going on in the new Transformers, with all the color, I can incorporate this somehow. And sure enough, that big blaster he's got, that mech tech weapon, that's a bunch of crap, had to come apart. And so what I did, so I took it apart. And this sword is here. I'm going to make that into a real sword. And this, I took all the screws out. I took their laser mechanism, took that apart. Just take all the screws out, pop it out, and lo and behold, this fits right in there. Huh? You like that? Fits right in there. It's even got a hole in the bottom for the switch. So what I'm going to do is figure out a way to incorporate that in here. And now if I turn it on, we have a blaster that actually comes out the front of the cannon. The only problem is you got all this stuff on top that I'd like to cover up. So what I'm going to do is I took the top off this where the batteries are, and I'm going to put that on top of there, and then I'm going to try and cover this up somehow, maybe a piece of black tape. I just want it coming out the front. You know, the old one came, a red beam came out the bottom, which made no sense at all. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to put this in there. It doesn't stay, it just kind of lays in there. So I'm going to have to attach it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it in there, get it in there nice and smooth. And I'm going to come underneath there and just put a dab of either crazy glue or modeling cement in there. And we'll see how that turns out. Alright, so here's the finished product. I screwed it all back together. I have the mechanism inside, as you can see on the bottom. There's my switch. What I can do is go ahead and switch it on, push it forward, and there's my cannon. Know how good you can see it right there. Set a couple lights off. I did not incorporate the swords back into it, but you know, at least it looks like a weapon now. And I'll do something with the swords. I think I might cut off the circles, glue, put a little dab glue here and there to get it together, and then maybe put a hilt. Try and find something from one of my G.I. Joe or Star Wars or something to make it a little bit longer and look like a saber forged from the blood of Unicron. But anyway, so there it is, mech tech weapon. You know, it's not even close to being show accurate to start with, so there's really not much you can do with it. But I guess, you know, the point is when you try to make something out of nothing. And here's the cannon with Meg's holding it. Looks a little better. I mean, I'll get a better picture of it then in a minute. You can't really make it's hard to make them stand up when you got all that weight on there. But anyway, I guess my point is, if you go to the dollar store, Five Below, and you find these little things here, you can usually incorporate them good to these. And let me get him standing up for you. Alright, so there he is. His arm cannon on. Lit up. I mean, it's a little oversized. It doesn't even look like the show version, but yeah, I did a little bit to it to try and make it look like something. So that's it. Whenever I get those mech tech weapons, I'm always taking them apart, putting them back together, trying to make something out of them, because they just really don't. They don't even belong with the figure. I mean, the figure's pretty nice. It could be silver, but it's not. Like a more brushed looking. This figure's really plasticky looking, but if you get light behind him, put him up on the windowsill when the sun comes through, he really looks good. But there's the blaster, reworked. Pick up some of those little finger laser thingamajiggies and you guys will have some fun playing around. Thanks for watching.